tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the worthy one, the blessed one, the fully enlightened Buddha. Dear friends in Dhamma, today we are going to discuss another episode, another section of the Sammaditthi Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. As we have seen or listened to previous parts of the Sammaditthi Sutta, today we are going to discuss another very important aspect of Sammaditthi. We are going to explore deeply Upadana. The Pali term Upadana means bring near to you, or grasping, or clinging. Take something as yourself, take something as yours, I, my, myself. So in Buddhist tradition, the Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta has explained this Upadana, or the clinging or the grasping, in 4 ways. One is called Kama Upadana, Pali term Kama. Kama means sensual pleasures. We human beings are pleasure seekers. Not only human beings, all the other sentient beings on this universe, in this universe, they are also pleasure seekers. They always discuss, reject, and don't like the pain. Even the slightest, smallest creatures on this earth, always trying to be happy, always trying to be gain some pleasure, gain some happiness. This is the fundamental and real nature of the all living beings. So this karma, or the pleasure that we are seeking, is the most strongest defilement, most powerful defilement we can see in all beings, because it is the most strongest, most powerful. When you are trying to achieve the enlightenment, this defilement can only be eliminated and eradicated at the last stage of enlightenment, which is called Arahanthood. So until one person reached the third level of enlightenment, which is called Anagami, even when he reached the Anagami, he still have this desire to enjoy the sensual pleasures. So this is one of the clinging we can see, and we see in the human and other beings. So that is why some people, when they have like family betrayals or relationship betrayals, sometimes people become very harsh and wicked and very cruel, and they try to kill the other partner, maybe because they betray them. Such is the mentality, such is the mental nature of a person when they are having this sort of attachments, this sort of graspings or clingings. So the second types of upadana or clinging, grasping, is called ditti upadana. This is also one of the dangerous, one of the most harmful thing can happen to a person if he comes into a wrong view, wrong grasping of ideas. People who are very limited to their view about the world, about the human life, some people believe that we have only one existence, one life. Once you die, that's the end of it. Those who believed in this kind of belief, they don't have moral responsibility or moral values in their thinking, that because if I do bad or if I do wrong, there's no repercussions will come back to him. But we have to remember, karma knows the location, and also karma knows the right time. So it's no matter how far you are, no matter how you are born anywhere, karma will get you. So even you have wrong idea, wrong conception, wrong views, but still if you are doing so, under this wrong view, the people might believe or have ideas and notions that there is no mother, there is no father, there is no rights and duties towards mother and father looking after. There is no merits, there is no demerits, there is no wholesome deeds, there is no unwholesome deeds. Whatever you want to do, you do. There is no repercussions. So Buddha once said, the highest crime or highest harmful thing that can happen to a person is if that person come into a wrong view about the world. There is no this world, there is no next world, or there is no beings who were born in the previous birth and reborn, and there was beings who are dying here will reborn somewhere. So when these kinds of wrong view is there, it is the most heinous, most dangerous thing can happen to a person. Why? There is a very nice simile given by the Buddha. You know, ancient days, when people are catching the fish, they had a kind of instrument made from bamboo, and it's like a basket. One end of this basket, the entrance of this basket is very small, and they will keep this, it's called kemana, and this is kept in running waterways. Between this instrument they put some maybe stones or something like that. Then all the water pass through this basket, and the fish who are floating on the water naturally and gradually goes there and get collected. They cannot go out. There's no way they can go out. So similarly, when people have wrong view, if they are strongly inquisitive and strongly searching whether my opinion, whether my idea, whether my conception, whether my understanding is right or wrong, and if it is wrong, if it is not right, then he can avoid that view, he can give up that view. He don't need to follow this wrong view, continue to follow this wrong view many years, many times, and many long years. He can correct himself. But unfortunately, when the people grasp their ideas very strongly, in a very deep way, it is very, very hard for them to give up. So that is why Buddha encouraged for us to investigate and inquisitive and see whether my Dhamma, my teaching, my understanding right or wrong. Is it leading to a betterment of myself and betterment of others? Betterment of this life and betterment of next life. So we need to have an inquisitive mind. We don't need to follow blindly. This is called the Dittya Upadana, or the wrong grasping of views. So the third wrong grasping of view is the Attavada Upadana. Attavada Upadana means where you consider your body as self, or in my body the self is lying, and mind is myself, and my self is lying or staying in my mind, and my feelings is self, and my feelings, in my feelings self is lying, staying in my feelings. So similarly, feeling, perception, all these ways people believe and understand that there is a self in me. This is also another misunderstanding, another wrong understanding and wrong grasping of the ideas. Because if you take for example a car is consists of many components. It may have 4 wheels, it may have a steering wheel, some seat, some carpets, engine, many components. But if this all the things of the car are removed one by piece by piece, and put in a one heap, it is no more a car. It may be spare parts. So similarly, there is no more car, because all this is a composition, combined together, put together, we call car. But the same things, when we separate them out and put it in different places on the ground, we never say this is a car. Why? Because these names and this idea of self, or idea of one unit, will come when those are assembled, and we think there is something substantial thing called car, but it's a concept. Then also we can see that there is another type of wrong understanding. This type of wrong understanding is called Silabbata Upadana. Silabbata means people are observing many types of virtues, many types of rituals, many types of wrong grasping of ideas. For example, in India during the time of the Buddha, some religions taught them, for your liberation, for your purification, if you live like a goat, if you live like an animal, if you live like a dog, if you live like a cow, all of your sins will be washed away and you will be purified. Because of this wrong idea, wrong view, the people believe that these kinds of ritual will lead to salvation, lead to purification. But in Buddhism, Buddha and the Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta, has clearly shown that as long as your type of behavior, rituals, rites does not lead to the enlightenment, does not lead to the purification of mind, you don't need to follow. You don't need to observe these rites and rituals merely because your parents or grandparents used to follow these kind of views. Therefore, why, reason, and how we should not practice grasping, or we should not continue to hold on to things, because more you hold wrong things, wrong views, wrong attitudes, it will give more suffering. So, for example, if you are holding something hot, you need some piece of cloth to hold this container which is very hot. Similarly, we also holding this body, holding these ideas, holding these views in our daily life and prolonging our samsaric journey. So, we think our body and our mind has 5 factors which bond together and create this kind of grasp. Normally we think because something is beautiful, something is nice, that is why we like. Something is so pleasant, that is why we like. Externally, if there something is sweet smelling, if something is beautiful, if something is nice, externally it can motivate you, externally it can persuade you, externally it can encourage you to have it. But if you go deep into this grasping, you can understand this grasping comes from where? It comes from within. In our mind we have a tendency to like things, grasp things and clings to things. Because of our tendency to see and like them, that is why we prefer to grasp them. Therefore, if you look at any problem externally, this thing is caused by external motivation, external beauty or external thing. But in actual fact, it is an inner thing. So, that is why we will be totally disappointed. Most of the time we are disappointed. Why? Because we are expecting a permanent, everlasting and very happy feelings, very pleasant feelings from very transient, very fleeting and very continuously changing things. That is why Buddha said there is no point grasping into things and expecting things to happen or expect things to go the way we want, because it won't happen, because the things will change. Therefore, we need to practice that, see this grasping as something dangerous. For example, somebody is going in a ship and suddenly this ship wrecks in the sea, hitting a underwater rock. Now it is sinking. The people in the ship jump out of the ship and they are trying to grab piece of rubber or piece of cloth or piece of wood, just in order to stay floating, stay on the surface of the water. Suppose some people couldn't have anything to grab or hold onto, what will happen? They will maybe try to grab some waves that is coming, waves after waves coming, and they are pushed away further down the sea and maybe downwards to the sea. Though similarly, when we are grasping something as my, mine, myself, these things will not give us permanent happiness, will give us disappointment, and because of that we will be more restless, more unhappy, more unsatisfied. So this is the nature. Therefore, we must remove this deep feelings of grasping and interpreting as myself, my mind, because there's only thing is only conceptually there is I or mine, but in reality we have solidity, fluidity, air or water, and all these four elements, and all these are called I, my, myself. Therefore, dear friends in Dhamma, we need to see this grasping as a wide-ranging fire. When a fire is caught in a forest, all the leaves, all the nice trees, the flowers, and the trunks, stately trunks, all that will be burnt by this wildfire. So similarly, we need to understand that in order to escape from this samsaric journey, Buddha said, upadana paccayo bhava. Because of this grasping, because of this clinging, we will have another rebirth. Another rebirth will create more and more good and bad karma. Another rebirth, because of good and bad karma, they are reborn, another rebirth. So this will continue. This will propel us to another rebirth. So that is why Buddha asks us to practice letting go of I, my, myself, letting go of all the other wrong views, wrong ideas. So in this sutta, in order to have a proper understanding, proper clean understanding about what is going on in our minds, we need to develop mindfulness and be aware then and there when we have these sensual desires, kama upadana, and dittha upadana, wrong grasping of views, or taking ourselves having a soul or permanent soul, and also when following wrong views, wrong rituals, which does not lead to realization of Dhamma, which does not lead to realization the real nature of the human nature and the real nature of the entire universe. So therefore, friends, let us be aware and develop mindfulness when we see that our mind is clinging to certain things. We can be aware and know and acknowledge, and from there we can reduce little by little this kind of grasping. So may the Buddha Dhamma bless you, Sangha bless you, guide you and protect you. Namo Buddhaya.